Hi, how are we? I started actually recording a video, but it turned out to be a bit too. I did it before, but I did it 10 videos ago. Literally 266. I did it. It was literally 3 days ago, by the way. I did 14 videos in 3 days. And today is day number four. And I think, yeah, maybe today we do five just for the fuck of it. But I'm doing this because afterwards I really want to kind of like dump a whole lot of things out. And then I want to read the business plan that I had, or just like the thoughts that I accumulated in like some sort of like spreadsheet. And by the time I go to them, I don't actually get to imagine anything. I literally would write whatever comes to mind because, like, it is fascinating. Like, the process of brainstorming slash thinking is more releasing the clutter or just kind of like burning through your energy so your instinct gets to actually come out. That is actually pretty profound. Maybe we need to take a note. Instinct versus clutter. We talked about this like a couple of videos ago. Well, anytime I say a couple of videos ago, probably is 20. So like I'm not gonna fuck with you guys. I've been doing a lot of these. But instinct versus clutter, how our voice is how our instinct, the voice of our instinct is only. How would we explain this, for example? So this is the process of me writing notes. I've mentioned before that if you ask a question, it's always your voice that answers, but it's always one of your past kind of like you always answer in a way that is closest to whatever the question is. So that's when you actually hear yourself speak and you kind of like relate to how you feel about this, which kind of like heals an old wound or just engages with an inner child or a voice of yours at what point of time, which kind of like establish something towards whatever it is, the concept that you're working towards. Positive, negative, all kinds of things. The goal is always to kind of like progress, change, and like understand what you're thinking about. The reason for that is simply just we don't want to be stale. Like you don't necessarily have to have a goal, but if you're going to be thinking of something, the last thing you want to do is just carrying one thought and like rolling it around in your head for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then suddenly go like, I don't know why I'm feeling so anxious. Well, it's because you've been. Think about it. It's the same bottle of water. If you put it under the sun, and you just like take sips of it every day, by the third, fourth day, it's poisonous. So any thought, regardless of how good it is, becomes an anxious thought because it's bouncing in your mind. It's not going anywhere. It's like bing, 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 bing. But anyways, so like if we're gonna look at instinct, we're gonna look. Maybe this video could actually be nice of me processing like a thought and how it comes out. So instinct versus clutter. This is right now. I took a note. And the first thing I was thinking of was like, because it's like your instinct has a voice, has a drive. And I explained it by like emptying the mind. And you can do that through meditation. You can do that through like laying out your emotions, like talking to somebody you know, somebody you care about. And I realized like most of the time I have like different kinds of energy and depending on what I'm doing. When I need to think, I need to be active when thinking. I need to be moving when thinking. I need to be, that's what people call ADHD in this day and age. And I've researched this a while, like whatever research is, like I read about it as much as I could. But ADHD is practically just the kind of people that are able to think while moving instead of think while sitting down. Basically it. Any activity. Sometimes I think best when I'm trying to kind of like when I'm practicing my sound notes, just for fun, or when I'm like just trying to like play something at the top of my head on the guitar and like humming it, and then going to the guitar and trying to figure it out, and then I get like one of those kind of like I'm thinking something comes up. So the process was, while I was trying to explain to you how I'm excited after a couple of videos of this, because we've been going on a roll, I'll be able to empty my mind so I don't have to think when I'm actually filling in the paper. It'll literally be the easiest 30 minutes of me doing a 5 hour job. basically, which is the truth. Because, like, no, if you're gonna ask me a question and I can answer in 5 seconds, why would I take 5 minutes? And that probably could go up to a different thought process. But my dad once looked at me and he was like, "I want you to understand, Tari, it's always the most important decisions that we make are the decisions we never take long to make. They're the split second decisions that you do. They're the moving your car, jumping in the face of danger, realizing you're not really in a good place. When you, like for me, for example, the decision to come to Lebanon was literally a decision that was made within like 2 minutes. But it took me 3 weeks to like accept that I made that decision when I was like in Liberia. And when I was in Dubai, I took that decision as well. But like, I don't know. Well, I remember Dubai. It's just like I was definitely without any form of sovereignty. It was like a bit pathetic. Like always on the fucking couch. I have no money, man, and they took my passport. They wouldn't give it to me. But anyways, I made like kind of decisions in a very like over there. I made thought through decisions that didn't really pan out. But so if everything that we do on a daily basis is working towards our character, or at the very least, everything we do on a daily basis is working towards how we want to express ourselves, interact with the world, and integrate our reality with other realities around. It could literally be other realities, as in like coffee shops and just like mingling, or it could be just me, my reality, communicating with some form of art, painting, music, writing. It could be just playing with cats. Like all of them are forms of us kind of like sharing what our reality looks like to the world. And naturally, we do it through expression and communication. Like I really like stress expression. I really stress expression. And it's funny because like so far I have like there's another person has commented and he uses expression as well in communication, which really like kind of makes me feel like there are a bit more people that are seeing the world the way I do, which is empowering me. And me saying it right now also makes me feel a bit better, but empowering me to kind of like push through even like harder with whatever I'm trying to kind of build, because like the whole point of this is for me to like build what I want to build and kind of like get the feedback I need. But so this becomes a voice note, sorry. This becomes an actual, oof, I should probably do like episodes on my voice notes. I take voice notes and I send them to myself sometimes. But sometimes I just do recordings, so maybe the recordings would actually bear some good fruit. I should like put some time in my schedule for it. Oh, sorry, man, I'm just thinking out loud at this point. But anyway, so like I want to write. I still want to finish this instinct versus the clutter in our mind, and how the voice of a person's intent, of our intent, is only heard, and I don't want to say allowed to speak, but the truth is, like once you kind of like have no longer, once you don't have energy to debate yourself, you just take whatever's thrown out of you, and normally that's the goal, right? Normally it's literally just like after digging through all your thoughts, suddenly you have the good ones start showing up, and effectively the only effort you did was to just wear yourself out. Literally, the only effort is wearing ourselves out. So maybe the Buddhists had actually something true, like when they say like be calm, be at peace, because ultimately any form of activity that we instigate, given our size, given our, when I say size, in comparison to world slash universe, everything, given how insignificant we are, any decision we make or any activity we try to make towards a decision is really us kind of like, I don't know, it probably feels like any decision we make or energy, like any consumption of energy we make, feels, and that goes to how I explain society, but it feels like it's a tick on the back of a cat. If our decision actually generates enough energy and whatever it is, there's a high chance the cat's going to turn around and start scratching in that area, which is effectively what we do when we screw ourselves. Because if anything is going to grow, then what we're doing is we're creating that friction where other realities kind of like start shunning us. I was fucking intense because all my life I always was like, why doesn't anyone understand me? And the truth is, it's just I really was forcing a whole lot of stuff on people without understanding exactly how my interference is allowing them to not really understand me properly. I think there's a road from there to how people could be a bit neurotic. Because the truth is, like, effectively, they're trying to show something, but they're always like seeing something else coming out, and they're not really understanding how to deal with it. And people tend to like not really want to be around such situations, so it adds to the tension. Oof, what would it really be for us not to try? Just like allow whenever anytime we want to do something, we ask a question, and whatever the response, we start from there. Process shit. It's a video.